Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday and the return of Conversations Daily News here on Instagram and YouTube. I'm Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us for our daily news show. We of course have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. Have a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. We're in week number 17 this week. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you're part of my conversation with recording artist Pam Ross. She joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show last week. You'll be hearing a part of that conversation today. Enjoy our broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Tuesday headlines. In national news, Tucker Carlson, Fox News' most popular host, out at network. Fox News said Monday it is parting ways with primetime host Tucker Carlson, whose stems of grievances and political theories about Russia and the January 6th insurrection had grown to define the network in recent years and influence GOP politics. Fox offered no explanation for the stunning move, saying that the last broadcast of Tucker Carlson Tonight aired last Friday. Shares of Fox Corp slid 4% within seconds of the announcement of Carlson's departure. The break comes less than a week after Fox agreed to pay $787 million to settle a lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems over the network's airing of false claims following the 2020 presidential election. Carlson was also recently named in a lawsuit by a former Fox producer who said the show had a cruel and misogynistic workplace. Carlson, who worked at both CNN and MSNBC earlier in his career, ditched his bow tie look and quickly became Fox's most popular personality after replacing Bill O'Reilly in the network's primetime lineup in 2016. His populist tone about elites out to get average Americans rang true with Fox's predominantly conservative audience, even leading to talk about him becoming a political candidate himself one day, said the Associated Press. He did not immediately return a message from the Associated Press seeking a comment. Tucker Carlson had become even bigger than Fox News, said Brian Stetler. His sudden ouster will have profound consequences for Fox News, for TV news, and the Republican Party, Stetler said in an interview. In more national news, CNN and Don Lemon part ways weeks after Nikki Haley comments. Longtime CNN host Don Lemon is out at the cable news network a little over 2 months after apologizing to viewers for an on-air comment about Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley, CNN announced on Monday. CNN and Don have parted ways, CNN's chair and CEO said in a memo to staff that was also posted on the network communications Twitter account. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well and will be cheering for him in his future endeavors. CNN did not provide a public explanation for Lemon's departure, but on the CNN This Morning co-host's own Twitter account, Lemon contended the news came as a surprise to him and categorized it as a firing. He had appeared on his show that morning. I was informed this morning by my agent that I had been terminated by CNN. I am stunned, he wrote in the statement, posted shortly after 12 p.m. Eastern on Monday. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I loved at the network. Around 45 minutes later, CNN issued a rebuttal on its PR account. Don Lemon's statement about this morning's events is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. In Mississippi news, Reeves okays most of Mississippi budget, vetoes a few projects. Mississippi's governor has approved most of the $6.6 billion state budget contained in dozens of spending bills, but has vetoed a few projects and questioned whether legislators properly passed the final bill of their session. The bill had hundreds of millions of dollars in government spending for things like repairs to university buildings and disaster preparedness. Governor Tate Reeves approved most of the projects while also vetoing some items. Reeves said the session's final measure, House Bill 603, is plainly an appropriations bill, and legislators passed it 4 days before the session ended. The state constitution says appropriation bills can be passed during a session's final 5 days. Reeves said it violated another constitutional provision that says appropriation bills cannot include general changes to state law. In entertainment news, comedian Richard Lewis reveals he has Parkinson's disease. Comedian Richard Lewis is retiring from stand-up following 4 surgeries and a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. The 75-year-old Curb Your Enthusiasm star, who is known for wearing all black and exploring his neurosis on stage, posted a video message on Monday to Twitter explaining his various health issues. For the last 3.5 years, I've had sort of a rocky time, he said, adding that he has suffered with back pain and he had shoulder and hip replacement surgeries. He also had a brain scan because he was shuffling his feet when he walked. Doctors diagnosed him with Parkinson's. And finally, in business news, stocks drift ahead of deluge of earnings and economic data. Stocks were drifting on Monday ahead of records that could offer clues on questions that have kept Wall Street at a standstill, including on where the economy and corporate profits are heading. The S&P 500 was virtually unchanged in late trading on Monday after barely budging last week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 41 points, or 0.1%, to 33,850, while the Nasdaq Composite was 0.3% lower, with less than an hour to go in trading. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Tuesday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. You can't control what others do today, but how you react to it is totally in your control. Show by example that living an inspired life is possible and contagious, so choose to pass it on. Have an amazing Tuesday. Pam Ross is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. Recording artist Pam Ross joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her musical journey and the single No One Around. Here's a bit of our conversation. Pam, thank you again for the time. Really do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Okay, the pleasure's definitely all mine. So first of all, congratulations on No One Around and all the accolades you've been getting about that. What has it been like for you, Pam, to see the way that people have really been rallying around that single?
It's been great. Really, I was hoping it would do well. Of course, we always hope that our music is going to do well, but you never really know. So it was my favorite song on the record, so I had high hopes for it. But when it started streaming like it did, I was just like, wow, this is so awesome. I was blown out of the water.
And I think the cool thing is, I'm a big lyric guy, Pam, and so just listening to the words, I love the fact that you're able to paint a story. I want to talk about that with you. I mean, have you always known that in some form, whether it was going to be music or something else, that storytelling was something you wanted to share?
I've always liked to write. I started writing lyrics when I was, I'd say 13. I couldn't even play an instrument yet. I would just get these beats in my head, and I would start writing down lyrics. So I knew I wanted to write songs. And eventually, of course, I started playing guitar, and I started putting the lyrics down to the music that I was writing. And, you know, I see things in my head when I'm writing the song. So I want the people to be able to see that as well. So I try to capture that imagery best I can. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversation Daily News. Prepare to get on tomorrow's more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your entertainment spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.